So this movie's not as good as I had hoped it would be. In The Matrix Resurrections, Neo finds himself in the Matrix where he's a video game creator and he's known for creating the Matrix saga video games. The whole Matrix story is all a video game that he created. And he starts to develop some weird things are happening to him in his life. He starts to see some weird things all the time, which his therapist always dismisses as being psychotic episodes that he's going through because he's a very creative mind creating these video games. He's got these psychotic episodes that happen where he can't differentiate the real world and his fantasy world he's created. And then he finds himself needing to be rescued from this world that he's trapped in, and a team of people come in to try and save him, and he finds out that there's a lot more going on here to the reason he was stuck in the Matrix than he could have ever fathomed. First of all, I gotta say this movie was not as great as I had hoped. The beginning is great. The beginning parts where he's in the Matrix are great parts. They make a funny little parody where they're talking about creating another Matrix game, which is in reference to kind of this new movie, creating a new Matrix movie that we're watching. And they're trying to spew off ideas for what they should do next. And they're talking about what made the Matrix good and what they could do to make the next one stand out against the other ones. And it was just funny to see the thinking process behind what they are bringing to the table to make a new Matrix movie and the way they're portraying that in this movie as a video game as well. That was very funny and very interesting to see. The action sequences kind of were lackluster, to be honest. There were very short action sequences and just kind of scattered all throughout, and they weren't that interesting, to be honest with you. They were nothing like previous Matrix movies where they were revolutionary and they blew your mind. They just blew the top of your mind off, where you're just like, what the fuck did I just see? Holy shit. It's nothing like that. This stuff is all kind of boring. You kind of seen it before. You were kind of bored, and to be honest with you guys, I fell asleep, you know. I passed out a couple times during this movie. I wasn't too into it. I dozed off here and there, not having too much fun during this movie. The standout things in this movie to me were the character developments here. We get a new character named Bugs, played by Jessica Henwick, and she is by far the light of this entire movie. Her character is so great. She's so much fun. She's the captain of her own ship. And she's such a fun character. She's such a great spark of energy that they brought to it. And Mateen Abdul II, who plays Morpheus in this, he also does a great job of playing the role. They bring back a new Morpheus, they bring back a new Agent Smith, and you just kind of feel like you've seen this before. Sure, Carrie-anne Moss and Keanu Reeves reprise their roles again as Trinity and Neo respectively, but for the most part, you just kind of feel like this is something you've seen before. You kind of feel bored with it. Kind of want it to just end. I kind of just got sick of it after a while, and I wanted it to end. The beginning kind of sucked me in. I was sucked in for a little while, and then they show flashbacks of the previous Matrix movies to get you on par with what you're watching so that you can kind of know what's going on if you haven't seen the previous movies in a while, which I appreciated. I appreciated seeing flashbacks of stuff. But after a while, it kind of became too much. It became kind of boring and muddled. And you just kind of get sick of it. The movie just kind of drags on, and it's a bit much. And it's 2 hours and 30 minutes long, but you kind of feel it, to be honest with you. It gets really heavy and boring. The only good elements, like I said, are the character development, and there's a solid love story element between Trinity and Keanu, where you get a solid piece of information about them towards the end that really makes everything worth it, where the whole story comes together. And it made this whole metaverse story kind of come to life, and it all was very interesting at the end. So that was all really a good highlight to it. The rest of it was just kind of bullshit. I give this movie a creme out of a creme de la creme rating. It's not a creme de la creme. It's not a creme de la, but just a creme. It was okay. It wasn't the best movie I've seen. It wasn't even that great, but it was an okay movie. It was alright. It had some highlights, and it had a lot of low stuff. It had a lot of stuff that I thought was just kind of unnecessary and bullshit and just kind of shit I've seen before. And I wasn't too enthralled or sucked into it, to be honest with you. Let me know what you guys think of this movie. Are you excited for it? Is it one you guys want to watch? And let me know if you guys have seen it, what you guys think of it. I'm curious to know how it affected you guys and what you guys thought of this film. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more content and reviews, and I'll catch you on the next According to Ash.